The 2025-26 NBA season was one of the most heated seasons we've seen in years. Almost every month, another fight broke out. Superstars lost their cool, rookies stood their ground, and rivalries became personal. In this video, we're looking back at the biggest fights that made the 2025-26 NBA season absolutely unforgettable. It all started with a matchup between the Miami Heat and the Memphis Grizzlies. Scotty Pippen Jr. knocked down a wide-open three-pointer, and everyone started jogging back on defense. After the shot had already gone in and the play was clearly over, Myron Gardner suddenly shoved Pippen Jr. from behind, sending him crashing to the floor. The surprising part? The referees didn't call anything. It was a clear unnecessary shove after the whistle, but the officials completely missed it. Pippen Jr. quickly got back to his feet and started running up the floor. For a second, it looked like he had decided to let it go. Pippen turned around, pointed directly at Gardner, walked straight toward him, and grabbed him aggressively. Within seconds, both players were chest to chest, exchanging shoves as tempers boiled over. Players from both the Heat and the Grizzlies immediately rushed in to pull them apart before the altercation could turn into a full-blown fight. After restoring order, the officials reviewed the incident and ejected both Scottie Pippen Jr. and Myron Gardner. The next incident didn't happen during the game, it happened after the final buzzer. The Los Angeles Clippers had just embarrassed the Minnesota Timberwolves 153-128 behind a monster 45-point performance from Kawhi Leonard. As players gathered at center court to shake hands, everything looked completely normal. Then, all of a sudden, a disagreement broke out over the game ball. Players from both teams wanted possession of it, and within seconds the argument escalated. Naz Reid, Benedict Mathurin, and later Jaden McDaniels all became involved as players crowded around midfield, shoving and arguing over who should leave with the ball. Teammates and staff quickly stepped in before it turned into something bigger. And while everyone else was focused on the scuffle, Kawhi Leonard delivered the funniest moment of the entire season. He casually looked over at the commotion, smiled, and simply said, "Hey, a fight." That one line instantly went viral because it was the most emotion NBA fans had seen from Kawhi in years. Even on a night when everyone else was arguing, Kawhi somehow managed to steal the show with just 3 words. Just when everyone thought the league had calmed down, the NBA witnessed its biggest on-court brawl of the season. This time, it was the Detroit Pistons versus the Charlotte Hornets. It all started midway through the third quarter. Jalen Duren attacked the basket looking for a finish when Moussa Diabate wrapped him up with a hard defensive foul. Instead of walking away after the whistle, the two immediately got face-to-face. Foreheads touched. Neither player backed down. Then Duren shoved Diabate in the face, and that was the spark that ignited complete chaos. Diabate instantly charged back, throwing punches as teammates and coaches desperately tried to pull the two apart, but the fight was far from over. Out of nowhere, Miles Bridges rushed in and joined the scrum, escalating the altercation even further. And then came the moment everyone remembers. Isaiah Stewart sprinted in from the bench straight toward Bridges, reigniting the fight as punches were thrown and players spilled across the court. It took coaches, security, and multiple teammates to finally separate everyone. When the dust settled, the officials had no choice. All 4 players were ejected. The NBA later handed out multiple suspensions, with Stewart receiving the longest ban for leaving the bench area and joining the fight. After the Pistons and Hornets turned the court into complete chaos, it didn't take long before another game exploded. This time, it was Thunder taking on the Wizards. With just 27 seconds left in the first half, what looked like a routine possession suddenly turned into one of the biggest fights of the season. It started when Jalen Williams and Justin Champagnie bumped into each other after the whistle and immediately started exchanging words. Neither player backed down. As the argument got more heated, AJ Mitchell stepped in, trying to pull his teammate away. But instead, the situation completely exploded. Champagnie made contact with Mitchell, who instantly charged back as players from both teams rushed toward the altercation. Bodies started flying into the baseline and even spilled into the courtside seating area as coaches, referees, and arena staff scrambled to separate everyone. Then Cason Wallace sprinted into the scrum to defend his teammates, making the pile even bigger. After a lengthy review, the officials handed out 4 ejections. The NBA later suspended Mitchell and Champagnie for 1 game, while Williams and Wallace were fined for their roles in the altercation. By this point, it felt like every few weeks another NBA game was ending with players being separated instead of shaking hands. And somehow, the season still had even bigger fights waiting to happen. The last fight didn't start because of a hard foul, it started because of one last basket. The game between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves was already decided. With only seconds remaining, everyone expected the Timberwolves to simply let the clock run out. But instead, Jaden McDaniels attacked the rim and scored a layup just before the buzzer. Surprisingly, Nikola Jokić didn't like it at all. As soon as the play ended, Jokić walked directly toward McDaniels, visibly frustrated that he had gone for the basket instead of dribbling out the clock. Within seconds, the two were face-to-face, exchanging heated words as players from both teams rushed over to separate them. The incident immediately sparked debate across the NBA. Some fans felt McDaniels broke basketball's unwritten code by scoring with the game already over. Others argued that the clock hadn't expired, so the play was completely fair. Either way, even the final seconds of a decided game were enough to ignite another confrontation during one of the most heated NBA seasons in recent memory. And with that, Part 1 comes to an end. If these fights were this wild, Part 2 is only going to get crazier.